Good morning, everybody. Stu Smith here, going live. Hope you guys are well today. It's Tuesday. That means we are going to talk a little bit about swimming. And today I got something special for you because we are going to talk about underwater swimming first. And anytime I talk about underwater swim training, I have a couple of things I need to say. Two very important ones. First, never do it alone. People die every year practicing underwater swimming. You can Google it. Countless spec war candidates, even active Navy SEALs have died doing underwater training, breath hold type training, swimming, various other skills. So never do it alone, period. The other one is if you are practicing breath holding, don't do it in the water, just do it on land. And something we like to do is actually walk and hold our breath, or actually do start a little pull up squat pyramid. So you do one squat, walk 10 yards to the pull up bar, do one pull up, walk back two, two, three, three, four, four on a single breath hold. How high can you get up? That's a good way to work the legs and the arms and hold your breath to practice longer breath holds while you're moving. So there's two things you need to do just for safety. Now, when you're swimming underwater, one, you got a lifeguard, you got a buddy. We usually double it up with a lifeguard and a buddy. Buddy's always watching you. He's swimming alongside of you, or he's walking alongside of you on the pool. And it's all about efficiency. If you're not efficient with your glide phases, and there's two glide phases when an underwater swim. It is a double arm pull, like you're doing a breaststroke pull out. You hold that glide for 4 or 5 seconds, usually. It's a big one. Then you kick and recover your arms and get into that glide position here once again, and you glide there for a couple of seconds. So the sequence of the underwater swim is pull glide, kick glide. I'm going to show you some underwater swim strokes that a couple of them do that and a couple of them don't. Some people kick and pull at the same time and just have one glide. Gliding, I don't think that's a very efficient way to do it. It's a way to do it. But the fewer kicks and arm pulls you can do getting across a pool, the better and easier it is. For instance, if you can do 25 yards getting across a pool in 4 strokes, 4 strokes with a kickoff, 5 strokes without a kickoff, you're doing really well. Now, most people are probably closer to 9 or 10, and that gets a little tiring to be able to do. I do want to show you a friend of mine who has created a page, and he's a coach. It's Bears Den Collective. In fact, I'll put his Instagram over here on in the comment section for you. But it's Bears Den Collective. In fact, I'm just going to jump right in and share his page. And share what he's doing on his page. He is working with people swimming, treading, swim skills, underwater skills. And we're just going to jump right into his because it's really good. He tagged me on this and just asked for my critiques. And so I obliged. Let's see here. Let me see if I can get his thing to start over again. Here we go. All right, here we go. First guy. You can see this. Good streamline. I like this. Good double arm pull. You see that? He glides until he almost stops. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. And then he's got a good kick and recovery. So pull glide, kick glide. That's solid. And that's a great glide too. If we were to count strokes, I'd say this is probably around 5 or 6. Not bad at all. So I like that one. Pull glide, kick glide. So he's got like 5 guys here doing underwater swims. And if you look on his Instagram, Bears Den Collective, you'll see I put a few comments on these. So he's got a weak double arm pull, and he's all over with his leg kicks. His kicks are not good at all. He's getting across the pool though, which is fine, but this has no rhythm to it. Pull, glide, kick, kind of glide. Yeah, it's all over the place. So he's got to work on his kick, either a breaststroke or a scissor kick. And he's got to work on his pull. This one, he's got a pull. That's decent. Kind of like a jumping jack more than a. There you go. That's kind of like the pull out. I like that. He's got no kick though. You see the kick? He's kind of kicking and pulling at the same time and holding the glide. It's not bad. I'm not saying this is a wrong way of doing it. It's just there's more of an efficient way to do it by kick gliding, pull gliding. And he probably doubled his stroke count just because he was unable to get two glides out of that stroke. He's just basically doing one glide. Double arm pull, I like. Kick, got a scissor kick. That's good. Pull, glide, kick glide. A little kind of a breaststroke. Yeah, figure out which kick you want to do. This breaststroke is not bad. Go a little deeper too. That's another technique for underwater swimming. You definitely want to go deeper. But that's a good breaststroke kick. He just needs to get the timing right. Pull, glide, kick, glide. I like the hand signals he's doing with people because that you're going to have to do that. Give the okay whenever you're done. Okay, so bottom or double arm pull. Let's see. Double arm pull, kind of hold the glide. Yeah, you're kind of weak on that double arm pull. You should be able to get at least body length and a half, maybe even two out of that. So there's something wrong with this pull that you're not grabbing enough water. The kick is okay. I don't mind the scissor kick doing it. We got to work on that breaststroke pull out and see how that works. Practice the turnaround as well. Come on up. Not bad. You probably got a 50 in you, no problem. All right, what we got here? Double arm pull, glide, kick glide. Did we just start all over again? I think we did. But let's show probably the best one right here. The best one's the first one. He's got a pull glide, kick glide, kick glide, pull glide. And he's just gliding it out. Not really a loss of momentum at all. So yeah, you guys check out Bears Den Collective, and you'll see a whole bunch of stuff he's starting to put in there with his coaching. And yeah, pretty good, huh? I like that. I do have, let me see, why am I still sharing here? I'm meaning to stop sharing. All right, well, since I'm sharing, I might as well just keep on sharing. So I have another video here for you. We can just pop right up. And you guys aren't seeing that yet. Damn, what is up? Okay. You guys can hear that guy swimming, but you're not seeing him. All right, so new tab, window here. All right. Okay, something's weird with my computer here. All right, so let's start with the kickoff. 3 seconds in. Kick off the wall. Good. Double arm pull. I like that. Now this is the CSS. Top arm, bottom arm. Kick. Looks like he's might have a swimming background to it. If you notice, this high elbow doesn't need to be there. He'll probably get called on that high elbow, keeping it so high out of the water. I mean, it basically, if you think about it, the term sharking probably has a picture of this guy right here. You see that? That's a shark fin. That is sharking. So, is sharking good or bad? I don't know. Some people will say you can't do it and disqualify you. Some people will say it doesn't matter. The thing, though, is that it is the easiest fix ever. You still got your regular pull. Instead of high elbow, you just drop that elbow and recover. Easy fix. I don't worry about it too much. I just say, watch your high elbow, and next time they swim, they fix it. Top arm, bottom arm, kick. Eh. Yeah, the problem with this kick, if you notice, he's already like rolling over in the middle of it, and that's why he's making these big splashes, missing some of the water with that back leg. So kick on your side, then roll over on your belly. Don't do it at the same time. Or don't roll over in the middle of your kick. Even worse. All right, let's see here. All right, new one here. I like this one. This was smooth. You notice, watch this momentum. Like, if you're filming this, you're probably jogging just to keep up with them. I mean, this is smooth. Kick and glide. Top arm, bottom arm. Kick, hold that glide. Top, bottom, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Pull. Yes. Yes. This is really good. Really good. I like it. Good turnaround. Double arm pull. Transitions out into the stroke. No loss of momentum. Solid. Really solid. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Pull. Yeah. I like this. I don't have any critiques on this one. And in fact, if you do the math on this one, that is 42 seconds. That's a 7-minute swim. All right, let's see. Some reason I am not getting out of my screen share. Really strange. All right, I got another one here. I know some people teach the sharking activity, but I don't recommend doing it. You're going to get called on it, and it's not an underwater recovery stroke when your arm is out of the water recovering. The one rule we have in this stroke is that it has to be an underwater recovery stroke. All right, so here's a very short video. And there's no glide. This is what overworking looks like. Okay, here we go. So kick off the wall, double arm pull, kind of awkward on the transition, top arm. And notice this recovery. I mean, he is way out here. I mean, when your arms are this far apart from your body, I mean, all of this going forward is just might as well be swimming backwards. So you're going forward pretty well, but then when you recover, your arms are going forward, so you are going backwards, right? So top arm, bottom arm, be tighter on that recovery. You only gave me a few seconds to critique them. Didn't need more than a few, though. I mean, look at that. 3 strokes, 4 strokes, 5 strokes. With his long limbs, he should be able to get across the whole pool in 5 strokes. He doesn't even get halfway. Awkward transition out of that pool, out of the kickoff. Yeah, don't do it this way. This is way too much effort. All right, here we go. Figured it out. Okay, so that's all I got for CSS critiques and underwater critiques. You guys check out that Bears Den collective over there, and you'll see some more underwater stuff. Let's see here. Looks like I don't have any questions over here on Instagram. Let's see what we got over here on YouTube. Yeah, Ryan always does a quick little note taking for me. I like this. Underwater swim training, never do it alone. Many die doing this alone. Don't practice on water, practice on land, practice breath holds between sets. Yeah, if you're going to practice underwater swimming, obviously you need water to practice underwater swimming. But what I want you to practice is not so much how long you can hold your breath, it's how few strokes you can get across in the pool. That's going to determine how easy this 50-yard swim will be for you. But let me put it this way. In 1991, I was going through buds. It was the first week of first phase. The first test we ever took was this 50-meter underwater swim. We started off with 120 people that Monday. By Friday, when we took the test, we had 100 people taking that test. We had already lost 20 people in that first week, which back then was pretty normal. Now it seems to be 40 or 60 get dropped that first week, quit or fail something. So we walked into that pool with a head count because that's one thing you have to do as a bud student is know what your head count is and how many people you have. So we have 100 people going into that test. And I was like, oh, this is a perfect little test scenario. Let's see what percentage fails this test compared to, other classes perhaps. And lo and behold, 100% passed this test. Not sure why. I think it was a head game for a lot of people. Um, I don't know if it's something about game day um, when you get the adrenaline flowing, you're kind of fired up about this thing. It just makes it easier to do a breath hold. I think that might be part of it. But everybody, whether they could do it well, efficiently or inefficiently, got through that test 100%. And by the time it was third phase, we were down to, I think, 28 people. So we lost a whole lot of other people, majority of the class, not to the 50-meter underwater swim, but everything else. So if you find yourself in in this mindset that you got to practice this all the time, you don't. Practice it a couple times, get your efficiency solid, work on your VO2 max and get in shape, and I promise you, it's easy. Over the years, and I've been doing this since the 90s as either a student, active duty guy, and then got out and was a coach, I have only heard of, out of thousands of people who have gone to butts, I've only heard of one guy, or I should say, I only met one guy. Maybe there are others, but I've only heard of one guy not passing that test, and he got rolled, and no, he got dropped, I think, and then he wound up joining the army. So there you go. Do you do those neck rotation exercises? Yeah, do it all the time. 6-minute necks. Check it out. You can Google it. It's a thing. In fact, Joe, I'll do it for you. Train for boats on heads. Stu Smith. Building necks for running boats. No equipment needed. In fact, I think I might have even shared this one last week. So there you go. Check that out. If you're worried about your neck, this is a really safe way to work the neck. Can you add weight to it? Sure. Opinions on Swick. I think it's a great community. They know how to insert via boats for sure. And it's incredible what they can do with those boats, as well as what they can do with the guns on those boats. Good morning, Stu. Do you have any books you would recommend to read before going to buds? I would always, my number one book, see if I have it. I think I let somebody borrow it. Number one book is By Water Beneath the Wall. In fact, I will put it right here, over here on Instagram. By Water Beneath the Wall. Maybe Walls. Ben Milligan. Highly recommend. Great book. It will teach you about the history of special ops and how they have been formed since post World War One. In fact, it's so thorough, it doesn't even get into Navy SEALs, the term Navy SEALs, until like chapter 9. So you will read about the forefathers of SEALs and Green Berets and CIA and all of those things that created the um, special ops that we know today. Called them commando missions, amphibious missions. Every branch of service had their own unit. Good stuff. Is following the seasonal period program a good way to crunch the PST to make it to SOAS? Yeah, it works. I would get a specific one though, because I have multiple years of our seasonal tactical fitness periodization model. And the one I would get is one you can do this. This is a great one for pre-buds and pre-SOAS. Let me see, where the heck? And I think it is. And I've got all kinds of extra books over here. Might have to give some away. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, increased strength, crushed PST. That's a winter lift cycle. And then I have a spring training one that is really good that I thought I had a copy of, but I do not. There's a program in the seasonal tactical fitness periodization that I think is ideal for SOAS, and you can start it in the spring. You can start now. We're about 3 weeks from spring. If you want to get a head start on it, and it's called Spring Training Getting To and Through Selection. The one after that would be any summer plan like this one. This one is a peak summer training cycle, peak calisthenics and cardio, because you will be running, rucking, and swimming and doing lots of calisthenics. So there you go. Many are dropped from federal agencies for weapons qualifications also. They are strict, but not sure about buds. Maybe they square you away better. I mean, you do something stupid on the range, you're pretty done. Especially if you have we used to call them ADs, accidental discharge. They call them something else now. What are your favorite socks? I use wool or nylon acrylic from Costco. Just wondering. I don't know, man. I get, to be honest with you, I go to Five Below, and they have these thin little socks that I really like, and they're just little thin socks. You can see through them almost. They're so thin, but they're great for breathing. I don't get blisters, and I don't get blisters. So they're not cotton. They're probably a nylon cotton blend, maybe. So I don't really have a favorite brand of sock. I've never concerned myself with it that much. All right, let's see. Hey Stu, I got a 3K fin down to 48 minutes. That's excellent. I feel good about it. I'm only comfortable swimming on one side. Thoughts on being comfortable on both sides? You got to practice both sides, period. When you're out there in the ocean doing your weekly 2-mile ocean swim, you and your buddy are going to be swimming side by side facing each other. One of you guys got to swim on the left, one of you guys swim on the right. Both of you guys take turns looking up to see if you're going straight, guiding. If you're better at guiding than your other guy, you may be doing all the guiding. So you need to practice both sides. I usually do it this way. I change my kick on my weak side. So whatever you're doing that you like on your strong side, you may not be able to do it on your weak side because it's awkward. So you got to change your kick a little bit. Some people do this. Here's what I did. I personally, on my strong side, I like to do a bigger scissor kick, and then I do medium flutter kicks in between, right? But when I went on my weak side, and I got a little glide out of that big scissor kick too, which worked really well when you're going with the current. If you're going against the current, that doesn't really work that well. You got to constantly kick more because there's no glide phase when you're going against a current usually. Um, but when you're going against the current, what I found is when I was on my weak side, or I could do it on my strong side too, I just did constant medium sized flutter kicks. So change your kick up a little bit. You may find that you can't do, if you do a scissor kick on your strong side, you're probably not going to enjoy it with fins on your weak side as much. Some people do, some people don't. It's up to you. Some people do dolphin kicks because they don't like the the scissor kick or the flutter kicks on their weak side. So on their weak side, they do dolphin kicks, constant dolphin kicks. You can do that too. So there's no real rule to it. You just need to practice both sides and figure out what works for you and make sure you have a good time on it. I usually just try to get everybody at that yard per second pace to be able to handle, the times that you're going to need, at least be in the top 10%. If you do a yard per second with fins on, um, 1,000 yards in 1,000 seconds is 1640. 2,000 is 3320. You double that, and now you got 4,000 yards, which is 2 nautical miles, which is what you'll be swimming, and that will be what's that? It's the 66, 67. So it's under 70, which is really good because you want to be in the 70s. You know, you don't want to be too high in the 70s because you're going to have to get faster in third phase because it goes from 85 minutes your first phase, 80 minutes your second phase, 75 minutes third phase. So if you can be in the low 70s, you're pretty solid, and you're going to get better doing it every week. I promise you. Morning, sir. Any advice on how to prepare for AF Special Warfare? I do have advice for it right here. Tons of advice. It's a great program. It's pool skills, running, swimming, rucking, lifting, everything you need. Calisthenics, lots of swimming. It's right there. I believe you said you had ADHD as well. I've never been diagnosed with ADHD. Never took any medication for ADHD. I often say when I'm not paying attention that I have ADHD. Um, but no, I'm to my knowledge, I don't have ADHD. I say I do sometimes because I get a little scatterbrained sometimes, and that could be an ADHD symptom. But no, I don't have ADHD, at least that I know of. Remember, in the 80s, we didn't have that. It wasn't a thing. When I grew up in grade school and high school, we were just rambunctious and they made us go run out in the playground. So I don't know. Having a weightlifting class in high school helped me tremendously. So maybe I do have it. We just didn't get diagnosed with it back then. If you were to dedicate 10 minutes every morning to stretching mobility, what would you do in those 10 minutes? Great question. I would pick like a sun salutation sequence of stretches right out of yoga. There's thousands of them. I usually do, if you go to my never quit stretching video, I do about 12 stretches repeated about 4 or 5 times to get across a basketball court. And, basically like lizard pose, deep squat, movements, forward, deep lunge, pigeon pose, every, up dog, down dog, toe touch, and you just move right across the basketball court, moving forward with each one of them. And, it takes you probably about 20 minutes to get across a basketball court, holding each one for 2 breaths. But if you just want to do it for 10 minutes, you might get halfway across the court or shorten the breaths or something. But yeah, that's what we do. And we do it every Wednesday, but I will do about 10 minutes every day of those same 8 to 12 stretches. So I start off toe touch, down dog, up dog, lizard pose, straight leg stretch. In that lizard pose, I don't know what it's called. I think it's called a like a pyramid or something. Looks like. Not very good with the yoga terms, but I will definitely use their poses. Um, and then bring it back up to a deep squat, toe touch, up dog, down dog, other side lizard pose. Do that again. Start adding pigeon pose. As you can see, it just keeps repeating itself. But that's what the never quit stretching video does. I'm a runner. Can swim freestyle just fine, but once I hit CSS, my right hip flexor won't let me get my hip all the way. Kick turns more into a breaststroke kick. Any tips or rehab? Well, you can do breaststroke kick if you wish with that stroke. You just can't do it with fins. So my advice is this: put on a pair of fins and start flutter kicking. And like build up those hip flexors because it might be a hip flexor mobility issue, but it may be you just need stronger hip flexors. I don't know. Um, but if you want to get better at CSS and your hips are the problem, put on a pair of fins and you will get stronger in your hips and your butt and your hamstrings. Let's see, running on a treadmill versus running outside. I'll always prefer running outside. Only time I will run on a treadmill, two different reasons. One, there's ice on where I would normally run. I don't feel like slipping and falling, not worth the injury. And if there's smoke in the air from like fog, smog, and sometimes we had those Canadian forest fires that were coming down, and I mean, everything smelled like smoke. You could even see it, taste it. So I ran inside on that one, or swam inside. But yeah, I don't even do treadmills unless I don't have a choice. What do you recommend for loosening stiff calves and ankles? A lot of stretching. Um, typical calf stretches. There's two calf stretches. There's one with your legs straight, pushing like you're pushing on a wall and your legs are straight behind you. And there's one with your knees slightly bent. That's going to stretch both muscles of those calves. And it's going to definitely flex your ankles to work that range of motion. Get one of those slant boards. That's another way to do it. And then also sit on your shins with your toes pointed behind you. Take your butt to your heels and really get it in there. In fact, I might even be able to share with you a series of stretches that I do. Answer two questions at once. I can find my stretch. I'm going to show you two different pictures here. All right, so check this out. So this is me and my mobility day, right? So you guys can see this. So deep squat, and this is what I do. And like someone asked recently, like, what do you do for mobility? This is it. I do 5 minutes of cardio, 5 minutes of stretching. A lot of these are those stretches, and then I'll do basketball court yoga when we do it this way. And you guys can see it is deep squat, toe touch, down dog. I forgot to put up dog in here, but I usually do an up dog, and then I go into there it is, up dog. Then I go into it's called the lizard pose with a twist. Oh, looks like I got up dog a couple times in there. Pigeon pose, Cossack squats left, Cossack squats right. Just bend over, let everything fall, and relax your lower back. This is a great one for ankle mobility, hip and knee mobility for treading water. If you notice, I'm in what's called the frog pose, and this is the vertical version of the frog pose. I'm practicing streamlined body position here but I'm also in this ankles out to the side. My ankles are on the floor, and I'm in this vertical position here. Then I bring my knees together, sit on my heels, and you guys can see where there's no daylight where my foot meets my leg, right? That's what you're looking for. I've seen a lot of people that can't do this and sit with their leg all the way, leg and top of their foot on the floor together. There's a little gap in there. Looks like, like there's a gap like this, daylight you can see. If you have that, you have tight ankles and you need to work on your ankles. And then if you want to really work on your ankles and go past that position, this is what we do. We just lean back, and you can see that's kind of a ballerina's point using those ankles. So there you go. What do you think of that? That's pretty good, huh? And then I have another one I just wanted to rehash real quick because it is very useful for treading and gliding. So as you can see here, oh, let me share the screen here. As you can see here, I'm in the frog pose. So all fours and my elbows. I lift my ankle up, trying to work these hip muscles here to get this foot up off the ground, because that is going to be my egg beater kick. Do it on the other side too. I come up about halfway, trying to get my butt slowly down, and then I come up all the way, as you can see here, and try to work on my streamlined body position at the same time as my hip, knees, and ankles getting into this vertical frog pose, which, if you think about it, this is the upward range of motion of a breaststroke kick, but is also the upward range of motion of a a egg beater kick, where you go breaststroke, alternating breaststroke, and you're kicking water with that inside of your foot, which is kind of like, I always call it like kicking a soccer ball to the bottom of the pool. When you're doing egg beater, you're not spinning your feet in a circle like this. You're actually, the range of motion, if you had a magic marker on your toe, it would look like two ellipses that go vertical, not a horizontal circle like you would think in an egg beater. So there you go. That was a good little extra credit thing that I didn't have planned today. Let me see if I got any more questions here. Looks like none over on Instagram and no more on YouTube. So good job. I'm done. You guys have a good one. Go check out StuSmithFitness.com. Tons of stuff over there. New articles every week, a couple times a week. And go to the school community, tactical fitness community as well. And if you don't have that invite, you should check it out right here. I'll send it over to you guys on the YouTube and Facebook page, and you guys can just click it and go check out what we're about over there on school tactical fitness community. All right, guys, I appreciate your time. I do need to go. Got stuff going on today, and I'll be back next week. You guys have a good one.